By now, Marilyn had been studying with Lee and Paula Strasberg for almost 7 years. Lee Strasberg was the foremost proponent and teacher of method acting, who challenged Marilyn to become a serious dramatic actress.
To go to the actor's studio after being thought of as the glamour girl, empty-headed blonde, to go there, can you imagine what that took? And then to prepare a scene and have to go out there and do it in front of actors. Oh, I can't imagine having to do that. Where did that come from? Except you have to see this enormous need to do better.
What I'd like to do, that is what I would like to accomplish. I would like to be a good actress. And it's not a matter of being on top, because I think some of the best actors and actresses perhaps aren't on the top.
Well, it was a big coup for Marilyn to be part of the actor's studio that Lee Strasberg ran. And I mean, she was a big star and a big personality, and for them to be known as her mentors, was important to them.
The Strasbergs opened their home to Marilyn and gave her the comfort and security of a family.
We were sharing a room on Fire Island where we had a summer house, and I woke up early in the morning and Marilyn was standing nude watching the sun come up. And I was looking at her and going, oh. And I said, you know, Marilyn, I'd give anything to be like you. She was horrified, and she said, Susie, don't say that. I'd give anything to be like you. People respect you. So I think that what she wanted and what she got from my father was respect.
Marilyn longed for respect and credibility, and while in New York, she sought out the company of the most esteemed artists and writers in the world, including famed playwright Arthur Miller, whom she later married.
Marilyn, I think, felt she had a chance of evolving not just as an actress, but as a woman. And I have a lot of respect for that. The fact that a girl like Marilyn, from her background, was reading Rilke, was reading the poets, was making this effort. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Marilyn planned her return to the set of Something's Got to Give, energized by the week-long stay in New York. But a bad cold she caught from Lee Strasberg began weakening her health. On April 19th, Marilyn landed in Los Angeles, suffering from a serious flu. 2 days later, she was diagnosed with acute sinusitis.
I called her up and I said, Marilyn, what is the problem? She says, well, I'm running temperature, she says. I said, what's your temperature? Just a little above normal. I said, I could walk down the street and get that temperature. She said, yes, that's true, but you don't have to be in front of the camera.
Marilyn's performance depended a great deal on how she looked. And if she really wasn't looking well and had the effects of a cold, maybe you couldn't shoot her if she did come.
Throat and cold problems had resulted in costly delays on almost every one of Marilyn's films. And Weinstein worried the same would happen on Something's Got to Give.
She was easily disturbed by the pressure of work, although she worked hard. When she was depressed, her resistance dropped to infection. There's a phrase that is used by doctors called psyche and soma, which means the psychological, emotional thing, and the bodily things. They affect each other.
On Sunday, April 22nd, studio doctor Lee Siegel reported that Marilyn was too sick with the flu to work. He suggested that Something's Got to Give be postponed for at least 1 month. His recommendation was rejected.
I'm not sure they believed her, and they didn't bother to check with me.
Q-Corps proceeded as planned, and principal photography was still slated to begin on Monday, April 23rd. That day, 104 crew members reported to Soundstage 14, ready and eager to work.
First day was very lively and everybody was happy, you know. Every time you start a picture, you're kind of up because it's something new.
Everybody was very excited about the film and very high, and the film was to start. And of course, the director said, well, I think, Sid, you'll have a couple of weeks where you're not working because we have so much to do with Marilyn and Dean. I said, well, that's fine with me. Call me when you need me.
But that first morning, Marilyn failed to show up.
The phone rings around 7:30, and they said, could you come to the studio right away? And I said, of course.
George Cukor was forced to quickly reorganize his shooting schedule. This scene with Dean Martin and Sid Charisse became the first moment of Something's Got to Give, captured on film.
All right, Molly, get up and go. Camera!
Here Martin's character, Nicholas Arden, returns from his honeymoon with his new bride, Bianca, played by Sid Charisse.
Well, here we are. Home sweet home.
Later, Timmy, front and center, Daddy's home.
Did you order any carpentry work done, darling?
Maybe they're hitting each other over the head. Let's go get them. Cut it, go it.
Cut. 80.
Hello, my darlings.
Hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy.
Now, is that all you got to say?
No presents.
No present. Look, what are you two doing up there?
Building a treehouse.
Lita, what's the matter with the house? What are you doing up there?
Building a treehouse.
A treehouse? You just said that to me.
Say it again. What are you doing? Building a treehouse. Say it again.
The following day, on April 24th, Monroe called in sick again. She even missed a planned visit to the set by the Shah of Iran and his wife, Empress Farah, who were in the U.S. on a goodwill tour.
Ginger Rogers is also on hand to greet the distinguished visitors, and ebullient Bob Hope.
The upper classes, of course, were all pro-Shah, and I have nothing against the Shah. I even liked Artie Shaw, so it shows that I'm neutral on this question. But Hollywood was quite appropriately agog at meeting foreign royalty.
Although the dignitaries were anxious to meet Monroe, she refused to appear.
And I tried to get her there. I called her and said, the Shah's coming, you gotta come. And she said, I can't come because he is anti-Israel. And I think she didn't come because she didn't think she'd be pretty enough.
You know, we're all waiting for Marilyn to come around, and they would say, well, we'll just shoot the scene today with you and Steve.
Their Majesties then visit a set of Something's Got to Give, to which they're welcomed by Sid Charisse and director George Cukor.
Instead of meeting Marilyn, the Shah and his wife watched this scene where Sid Charisse's character, Bianca, appeals to her psychoanalyst, portrayed by Steve Allen.
Camera!
But I happen to know that Nicholas is madly in love with me.
I see.
That's why it's so maddening, this shyness.
Yes. Well, now. Now, you say that even though... Oh, there you are.
For the rest of the week, Monroe was a no-show, and the company worked around her.
She definitely had sinusitis that summer. She definitely had some bronchial infection occasionally from the drip from the sinus down into her chest. And she at times, felt definitely weak and depleted by the infection.
191.
On Monday, April 30th, one whole week after production had begun, Marilyn reported to work for the first time. That day, George Cukor shot several takes where Marilyn's character, Ellen, emotes silently, reacting to being at home for the first time in 5 years.